I decided, I started to consider, hey, but why, why can't I join different projects, right? So I accepted to stay, I joined my maker family with Oasis.app, where now I am full-time as a marketing lead. Oasis.app is the front end of MakerDAO, so it's now a separated entity, but it's still maker family. And at the same time, I was asked by Balancer to join, and I had really first love with them, with the team, and I decided, okay, let's join also Balancer part-time and see if I can manage it, of course, because it's it's very. It's very challenging too. But I started this journey, and I'm also cooperating with other side stuff like DeFi Africa and Spaghetti, which is a conference we are organizing in Milan together with the Ethereum Foundation. So the point is why I decided to try this. Because we always talk about DeFi as a synergic space, synergic projects, money Legos, but why just projects? We can also be considered as synergic, like as a bridge between projects. The first step that I made was understanding my own value, because working in this space is super, challenging also from a psychological point of view, because you always feel behind, right? You always feel that people know more than you, that you are not that smart, because there always somebody is smarter than you. But if you are there and you stay there, it means that you can bring value and you are valuable. So the point is, if you feel like you are the smarter person in the room, you should change room. And this is my philosophy from back in time, and I really I really support this sentence, and this is very true. Another thing after I joined this space is the amount of different type of organization you can join, right? Because you have DAOs, you have normal companies, you have NGOs, so you're a bit lost. And this is also something that you should consider when you start to figure out what you want to do, and you start to embrace this thing that you can work for different projects. So the first step that you should consider, the first thing is what you like. What do I like as a project? This is exciting me, or it's boring for me? Because not everything should be fun for you, and you should work for something that interests you a lot. Then the second is what do I like as a company, which is the structure, so NGOs, DAOs, whatever, but also the culture, because it's very, very important to consider that 70% of your good job depends on who are you working with and the interaction you have. So you need to really understand if the culture fits with your personality, and not every company, if it is good on the paper, is good for you. So this is very important. Then what you can bring to the project and to the team. If actually your work is good for them, and your contribute could be valuable or not. Because sometimes you are asked to join with a random job description, and in the end you realize that you can't bring any value there. And the last tip that I want to give is don't choose based on money, because you are offered in this space really a lot of huge salaries, but this is not the point, because you need to think long term. So the best practice is when you start to work for different companies, there are something that you need to take in mind, right? Can I manage it? If not, let's skip drop something, because otherwise you will die. Be always transparent with every project. So, for example, when I joined Balancer and Oasis, I told both of them, guys, are you okay if I work for both? Because it's sooner or later, one of them will see that you are not fully with them, and you need to travel, you need to take calls, etc. So it's very important to be transparent and all the time. And be very organized with schedules and plans. For example, you can try to divide your day. For example, Oasis.app is based on CET, so I work European time up to 5, and then from 5, I work for Balancer because it's based in US. So this is the macro plan. Of course, then there are a lot of times where I should stay focused on more on one than on the other, but the macro guideline is this. And then learn to trust the rest of the team and delegate when you can. So for example, if you have somebody helping you with the, I don't know, contents, you don't want all the time to review the content, because otherwise you will, you can manage it. You can manage everything, and you need to trust. For me, it was very hard because I'm a person super precise, so I want everything perfect, and I always want to review everything. But then I realized that this is not doable, because you need to stay in the middle. This is the burnout curve. So as you see, there is an optimal stress level that keeps you productive, motivated, creative, and focused. But if you exaggerate, you start to not perform anymore. You are burnout. So you break down, you are overwhelmed, etc., etc. So in this space, it's very, very easy to be at the right of the curve, but we need to stay in the middle. So when something is too much, you need to realize it. And what I realized myself is that it's very important to talk with the team first, and then also with yourself. Because sometimes you don't realize you are burning out, and one of your teammates in a call tells you, hey, Maria, you don't look so well. What's the point? What's the problem? And you start to talk, and they suggest you to take some time off, to do your stuff, to relax a bit, because you're not saving life. At least me, I'm not saving any life. So nothing is super urgent. I can rest, I can be bored, I can exercise. And I can switch the phone off. I can go to holiday, going really to holiday, not like I'm on the beach with the phone and Telegram open, Discord open, forum open, which I'm used to do, but I'm learning not to do anymore. And basically that's it. It's what this is my experience. This is not a technical talk. This is something that I think is very common. So that's why I wanted to share my experience with you, because I noticed that I receive a lot of questions when I mentioned that I'm with both projects, Balancer and Oasis. Every time I receive the question, well, how can you manage it? How do you do? Do they know? Do the other project know? This kind of question. And this presentation was basically to answer those questions and to share my experience, which I think is common in this space. Thank you.